If you're new to oil painting, you've probably heard about mediums and been a little overwhelmed. Do you need them? Which ones should you use? Well, if you've watched videos like I have, everybody has their own way of doing things. Some people tell you don't use them at all. Some people tell you to use this one. Some people tell you to use that one. And I think you really have to find your own way. So let me give you the basics so you'll understand what they are and how they're used. So what are mediums? Mediums are liquids you add to your oil paint to gain certain effects. You might want to make it glossier, smoother, thinner. You may want it to dry faster. Mediums are liquids you add to your oil paint to change how it feels and how it dries. Some will make it thinner and smoother, and others will make it faster drying or glossier. Let me show you how plain oil paint looks and feels, and you can use it as is. You don't have to add a medium. Now here's some ultramarine blue. As long as you're using a good quality paint, it's got a nice smooth texture. So here's a little walnut oil added. You can see how it makes it much easier to move around. This is the medium I tend to use. Now this is linseed oil. This is a very popular type of oil. This really makes it nice and thin. And you can actually use linseed oil to get your panel a little wetter if you've let it set for a while. Now these are drying oils. They include linseed oil, walnut oil, and safflower oil. Now I've been using walnut oil for quite a while, ever since I took a class with Collie Wisson. And I like it and I'm used to it and I know what the characteristics of it are. But just find something that you enjoy, that works for you, and that you learn how it works. Drying oils are used for glazing, smoother brushwork, and later layers. I'll talk about that in a minute. So let's talk about solvents. Now solvents refer to odorless mineral spirits and turpentine. Turpentine has fallen out of favor because it's got such a strong odor. And odorless mineral spirits, by its name, doesn't have an odor. Odorless mineral spirits are good for sketching and underpaintings. It dries fast, but too much of it makes the paint weak. It's useful if you want to make your first layer transparent. The one I use is Gamblin's Gamsol. This is a sample. So this is what happens when you put Gamsol in your paint. You can see you can get that transparent look, and it thins it and makes it very easy to work with. The next one I want to talk about are alkyd mediums, like Liquin or Galkyd. Now I used to use Liquin when I first started painting. I heard it yellows the paintings over time, so I stopped using it. I do have some samples of a couple that I'll show you that I got at the Plein Air Convention. And I'll experiment with them to see what they do, because I haven't used them. Now this is Galkyd Light. It's a little on the thick side. This one is Neon McGilp, and this one is Liquin. Now I have to say that when I poured out this Neon McGilp, it really had a strong smell. Now let's see what happens. We'll put a little bit of paint there, a little bit of paint there, and a little bit of paint there. So first is the Liquin. This is the Neon McGilp. You have to actually put a bit more of the Neon McGilp to get your paint to move around. I can feel that it's thicker. And this is the Liquin. Now that does move around nicely. I think it thins a little bit better. I'm going to go back to this, the Galkyd Light. I didn't think I'd given this enough a chance, so let's see. I think this one smells really strong to me. I probably wouldn't use it again. The Liquin, I probably would not use because I heard that it yellows your colors over time. The Alkyd Light is pretty nice. It's almost a gel. But I have to be honest, I'm so used to this walnut oil, I don't think I would change it. I'm just used to how it works and how it dries. And I do like it a lot. That's my walnut oil. It's one of those medium drying oils. There's a couple others. I don't necessarily recommend them for beginners. That's impasto, where you get really thick paint and you just kind of glom it on. And the other is some of the other gel mediums that can make your paint look really thick. It's good for artists that like texture and like to make their brush strokes stand out. Now, what you need to know about all of this is it applies to the golden rule, which is fat over lean. The early layers are lean, less oil, more solvent. The later layers are fat, which means more oil and medium and less solvent. And the reason for this is it helps to prevent cracking. A long time ago, when I first started painting actually, I was asked to do a very large, I think 36 by 48 painting to hang in church. And it was of grapes and grape leaves. And I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, it turned out okay, but I didn't do that right. I started out with totally thick paint all the time. And thick. And what happened with that painting was it cracked. And it was disappointing because I would have liked to have kept it, but I had to scrap the painting. So my recommendations for beginners are start simple. You really only need 2 when you're first beginning. You need your odorless mineral spirits for thinning, and linseed oil is the old staple, and you can use that later on as you want your paint thicker. Everything else is optional. You can always experiment anytime you want to. You're probably going to find a different combo that's ideal for you. So let's recap. Mediums aren't as scary as they seem. Start simple, experiment, and you'll learn what works best for you. If this has helped you, subscribe for more beginner oil painting tips. And let me know in the comments which medium you like to use and why. Happy painting!